for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Hey, howdy, hello. Hope you guys are all in for an interesting conversation. And while you're at it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not subscribed, liking the content, sharing the content, and we definitely want to get this out because the update that we're going to get on Samantha's case is very important, and it definitely needs to be aired out. So don't mind me. I have a coworker friend who gave me a taster bottle of Russell's Reserve bourbon, 9-year barrel aged, and so we're sipping this incredibly well. Let's see, very full body. And this is not a paid promotion, by the way. I'm just sharing that a friend gave me what I would consider to be an expensive bourbon. And my gosh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, that's very good. That is phenomenal. I wish I could afford that. So anyway, big shout out to the Angry Vet, who is a show producer now through support he's giving here as part of channel memberships. And a big shout out to iMav, who comes over from Subscribestar. So if you are a channel member here, thank you. And if you are a gifted channel member, I would really appreciate it if you would consider becoming a full-fledged channel member when your gift membership expires. And it's very helpful to the channel. And I would appreciate it. So I'm going to try and not say so much tonight. I don't know. This is a TC in studio. Yes, Bit Polar Bear. What is this random channel? Bit Pure Fired. Yeah. The Clap's in the house, folks. We've got Clap in the house. Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. I have some news, if I may. Yes, you may. But yeah, channel mods, you know my rules. Pretty much anybody's allowed in the stream. Pretty much anybody's allowed to chat. I do not tolerate any kind of ethnic slurs, ethnic hatred, racialism, any of that stuff. We do not play that game in here. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it's directed at. We don't play that game. Channel mods, you all know that. So, what did you have to, and Juggle asks, you keep your opinion about, keep that to yourself. Oh, Nate was here. So I was getting ready to bring him in, and then he disappeared. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations, Clap. I'm glad to hear that you are in remission. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that here on the channel. That is wonderful news. And I hope that you can keep us posted on that, Clap. I mean, STD. So, yeah. So, if you would like to continue to support the channel, after your gift membership runs out, please hit the join button down below. If you prefer to go through something like Subscribestar, I would gladly take your support of Subscribestar. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the member exclusive stuff over to you guys if you're on Subscribestar. But yeah, that is great news. So without any further ado, I almost removed myself from the stream. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you all know Nate. You saw his proposal several months ago, and last week you probably have tuned in to see the wedding that took place last week. So here we are 1 week from today. Nate is not here to announce that Sam has already had enough of him and is leaving him. That he's not announcing that tonight that we're aware of. However, he has not taken the show seriously enough, and he's sitting on his bed with a blanket over his lap. So
That is correct.
we're going to need to see your hands, sir, at all times. We need to see your hands at all times. So how's the first week of marriage? Again, because you're the guy that was never going to get married again.
I know. It's definitely a lot better than it was in the past. That's for sure. She's definitely worth it.
She's in the. Are you safe? If she's in the room right now and you can't tell us, just blink 3 times with your right eye. Help is on the way.
All right. It's not the police.
No, I said help.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I lift my gifted bourbon to you in celebration of your 1 week anniversary. Thank you so much for letting me take part in that last week. The channel members and others who watched have been very happy to see that come to fruition. So I wish that we were here under different circumstances, though, because I do know that yesterday was a stressful day, especially for Sam. And for those who don't know, Sam is a teacher in the local government school system. And she was called away from work yesterday, Nate. Why? What happened?
So, as of yesterday, I guess before this happened, we were planning on today was the second scheduled jury trial, and this was all supposed to be over with. But she ended up calling me around 10:30, I think it was, in the morning, saying that she just got notified that for the second time, the city prosecutor, his name is Brandy Lang, had filed for continuance of the trial. And obviously, the night before, she's already taken the day off. We've already been 150 days into this, and we're ready for it to be over.
And you guys filed for speedy trial, right?
We did. And yeah, that's kind of, you can't tell me after all this that this isn't all planned out from the judge to the prosecutor. There's no way that.
Let's go back. So Sam's first scheduled, and folks, just so you're aware, we're being very careful with Sam right now. We don't want her on stream. We don't want her to make any mistakes that they can possibly use against her, and they will do that. So the reason Nate is doing the update is we're watching out for Sam. And so that's why she's not here. As you guys know, she is the star of the story. Nate just happened to be caught up in the afterglow of it, if you will. So no offense, bro, but I love you guys, but Sam's the star. So
Yep.
And she corrected me via Messenger on Facebook. I'm a special ed teacher. Okay.
Yeah, special ed teacher.
I could make so many jokes right now about your brother, but that would be wrong because you're an engineer and I just work at a freaking warehouse. So go back to the first trial. What day was that? What was the date of that? And what happened in that situation?
Okay, so this is off recollection. I might be off a day or two, but I believe it was the first trial that was scheduled was jury, because we requested a jury trial. We didn't want to leave it into the hands of the judge. And that was approved, and I believe it was August 15th is what that was scheduled for. And she had already been to court like 3 different times for pre-trial, and I forget what it's called, but when they tried to make an offer to us or to Sam, they offered her to pay a fine and they would drop it. We turned that down. Then they offered about a week later. They offered to they offered her to take a diversion program,
which would have been a no plea, but
yeah, basically it's a form of an admittance of guilt. That's what it is.
right.
You know, like where she would have had to admit that she was in the wrong,
But
which
there would
she
have not been a
was not.
conviction on her record.
That, yeah, and so we turned that down because I mean we truly believe and know that she's innocent in this.
Correct.
Then
And that was not, and that was from the get-go. When I first reached out to you to talk to you about having you on, that was one of the first thing I asked is, how is she feeling about this? Is she really serious about fighting this, or is she? And you had already said at that time that she was 100% committed to taking this all the way.
Yep, and that's I say as far as
So
we've
the
gone.
settlement conference and the diversion and all of that was just a waste of her time.
Yes, each one of these, each offer was a new day that she had to miss work, and a whole nother story from that. Her work is lowly staffed right now, so she's not at work. The kids aren't getting the education and the help that they need because she's shown up to court over something that, I mean, it's just wasting the tax dollars. To be honest, it's just a game for them.
Is she? Are they handling it well at work?
So, yeah, they've to start. They kind of didn't ask too many questions. I think now they're starting to kind of, people have seen and heard it's going around what's going on. As far as their boss goes, I do believe he's pretty lenient at the moment. But she's definitely, like, out of her work, they have cops or whatever, security guards, and they've seen this.
No,
and
they
she's
have school
definitely getting
resource
different
officers.
treatment. Yeah,
they have school resource officers. Yeah.
Yep, and her relationship with them has changed a lot just once this has all started. And but yeah, so aside from all that, get back to it. The two offers, the diversion program, I think it was like a $200 fine was the second offer. The third offer was to where they said if she takes an online course, was like an hour long, I think they said, on how to make better decisions as an adult, they would drop it. Which to me,
just how? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and after that point, like, this is all bogus. Everybody knows this from the start. But if you're gonna bring it all the way down to just an online course and you're gonna drop the case, why are we still having this case? Why do we have to have a jury trial, waste all the people's time and money? And to me, it's just like appalling that this is still going on. The judge hasn't just thrown the case out, or the prosecutor.
And this is all leading up to yesterday. We haven't even gotten to what actually happened.
We didn't even got to yesterday. So, this was all leading up to August 15th. This was all before the first jury trial came up. And
at the risk of being, kind of snotty and cocky like I can be at times, and other times I just like wear my heart on the sleeve. You remember what I told you, that they were going to delay,
yep.
and delay, and make just not terrible offers, but make these offers because they want to delay. I warned you this is going to happen.
Yep.
I told you they were going to push this out.
They want to delay, and they need her to admit some form of guilt because they know they messed up.
And everybody, make sure we are sharing this out. Share this out to all your platforms, all your friends. Share it out to the family members you don't like. We would, especially if it like increases the tension in your relationship with them. That's a win. We'll take that. So if we can unite a couple in marriage on this channel, we can help you fix your relationship.
Yep.
So she stayed firm through all of this, and this isn't a secret. I have messaged with her, obviously, and encouraged her a few times, and told her, like, I get it, it's hard. I know how the system works. But I did tell her that the more they delay, especially after the last missed court date, which they missed that. What was that one for? What happened in that situation?
Okay, so the trial on the August 15th was after we turned all that down, it was jury trial. She had taken the day off. You know, I had the day off because I was going to be there. They said expect to be there, 9 to 4. And we had some local supporters around here too that were also planning on showing up, had taken the days off. And the day prior, about 4 p.m., she gets a phone call from our attorney saying that Brandy, the prosecutor, is sick and they're delaying the trial. And that's the only explanation we had. He said he tried to, object to it, but they just said we're delaying it and we don't know when we had no reschedule or nothing.
Yeah.
About a month goes by and they finally let us know. They basically said we're going all the way back to pretrial. Your pretrial date is so and so in September. So it's like we've already been through all this. Now there's more days she's got to take off, so she has to take off, go to that. From pretrial, they set this date, which was supposed to be right now, today, for the trial.
Was today the
And-
trial? Yesterday was, they called her in
Yeah.
yesterday because they
had to cancel today. Yep.
Just for those who don't know, BIP is incredibly local to Nate and Sam. And I know he's been very supportive to you guys there locally in putting a lot of pressure on all the elected servants he can reach out to. So much so that Senator Jen Day in Nebraska has blocked him and then unblocked him because somebody may or may not have gone to Senator Jen Day's Facebook page and let her know that she was in violation of court decisions about the constitutionality of blocking people. And then miraculously, BIP was unblocked, but now no one can comment.
Yeah.
So it's a win, and I guess it's a win because her supporters can't say much either. So BIP has been very dedicated, and we'll get to the rest of that. And I wanted to go back to touch on one thing before we get to what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday is this idea that she needed to take a 1 hour or 1.5 hour class about making better decisions as an adult. Folks, this is how you know that you now live in the literal nanny mommy state that they have been trying to get us to live in for decades. And this is what, no offense, everybody knows I love Sam, but this is what the indoctrination centers that most of us all went through as children are all about. It's getting you to be in a constant state of submission to the state. And that when you don't agree with what the state tells you to do, you are in need of re-education. They're treating her like she would treat one of her own students. Really.
Yeah, essentially. It's sickening.
Use your invoice. Use your inside voice, Sam. Use your Sam. Are we making good decisions right now? Sam, what kind of decision would be best for you in this moment? That's exactly. Can we all picture that? Can you all picture that's exactly how they're talking to her in a very literal and very metaphorical sense all at the same time. So yesterday, and I know this because Bip was messaging me like crazy yesterday. He's like, "You got to get a hold of Nate," which, by the way, I can't be responsible for that. If these things are going on, you have my number, brah.
Yep.
So,
Yep. We know you're there for us. So.
So Bip is messaging me yesterday, telling me a little bit of what's going on, and then eventually you did get a hold of me. They pulled her away from work because the prosecutors approached the judge to ask the judge for a continuance because
the arresting officer's grandma has supposedly died, and she lives and was out of state.
And that could very well be true.
It could be.
That could very well be true.
That we don't know, but it just happens to be a little weird that the second time, the day before the trial, this happens. So take that how you guys will. I know how we feel about it.
Nikki and Mr. Nikki, thanks for being here. And if you guys mods, please put their the links for everybody in the chat. By the way, especially Nate's link and also Vigilance Committee. We need their link in the chat. I've said this so many times. I'm going to just keep saying it. Maybe one of the, if not the most important channel on YouTube right now is the Vigilance Committee. And once you go and check them out, you'll understand why I say that. So, well, let's make sure we're getting links in the chat. So, you know, what they're doing is, I'm going to just err on the side of humanity here because I want to be the grounded human being that we wish cops were, really. And I'm just going to assume this is true, that his grandmother did pass away. I'm just going to assume it's true. It just plays into what we talked about. And I told you they're going to come up with these delay tactics because they want to push it off. They want to make it as uncomfortable for Sam as possible, to the point where they end up not being able to go to trial or just basically dropping the charges. And they want to stretch it out as long as possible because the longer they stretch it out, the harder it is for you guys to go civil with it.
Yep.
The harder it is for you guys to get the body cam footage because you've put requests in for that and you can't get that because this is still an open case in the sense of it's not gone to court. It's not been adjudicated yet. And so the longer they stretch this out without having to drop the charges, the less likely they are to be on the hook for any civil damages. And if they don't drop the charges, or if they don't have to drop the charges, then the officers can have a better defense in keeping their qualified immunity in the case of civil damages. That's what this is all about. Because most of the time, if a DA or prosecutor or your county attorney, whatever the case might be in your situation, chooses to drop charges based off of the cops, evidentiary reports and all of that, that opens the cops up to forfeiture of qualified immunity. And that's what they're doing here. They're pushing this out. They know that there's a good constitutionally minded, natural rights minded attorney somewhere out there is going to look at this and go, what in the actual French toast did you guys just do to this woman? Despite all the trolls and all the haters that are out there saying she got what she deserved. So the judge ordered, the way I'm understanding it, the judge ordered Sam to be at court yesterday within 2 hours.
Yeah, so she got notified, and originally they wanted her to show up at 4 p.m. This is the only thing that I guess you could say the judge was lenient about, but they wanted her to be there at 4 p.m. just to listen to the postponement or whatever, which really, why did she need to be there they're just going to grant it, so whatever, the lawyer could have showed up and done it all, but they refused. The lawyer asked.
I told Bip, I ended up being wrong. I was completely wrong, and I can say I'll admit that. But the way that he was explaining it to me, it actually sounded a little bit to me like he might have been getting ready to drop the charges, to dismiss the case. Excuse me, because there really was no need for Sam to be there.
No,
that's for a continuance, especially if your attorney was involved. There was really no need for that. So, okay, we're just gonna. Everybody wants to see. Let's see the pooch.
Yeah, he's been whining. Loki.
Aww. Is that Loki?
Yeah, that's Loki. He's not getting all my attention, so he's whining.
Is he Great Dane? Great
Dane, about a year and a half.
Oh, he's gorgeous. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Yep, he's definitely a big baby.
Just make sure you got him on something good for his hips.
Yeah. Yep.
So you
Yep.
guys scramble. Sam has to leave work, which of course, once again, you've already explained that the school she's at is already short-handed, short-staffed. They had to
Yep.
cover her, and she shows up for what was ostensibly just a paperwork shuffle, and the judge grants the postponement. Now, everybody, remember they requested a speedy trial, and we're already at 150 days. Nate, lay it on us. When did he push the trial out to?
So it was real quick. It was a she, Judge Freeman. She, but yeah.
Okay.
So the trial is on November 14th, which turns out to be day 179 out of day 180 that they have on a time frame. So tell me that that's not set up. I mean, how is that not planned between all of this?
Because they're on the hook to have it started before day 180. And as long
Yep.
as they have it started before day 180, then they've met speedy trial demands.
Yep. That's the system. And like trying to explain this to other family and friends and things like that, like the whole speedy trial process and all, like if Sam had not gotten a bond, there's plenty of people who don't get, bond or bail options. And this probably happens to them sitting in jail for this long.
Not
And
probably, bro. Not
it
probably.
does.
This
It
does
does
happen.
happen. Yes. And like I said, I was just trying to explain it to my daughter not too long ago. And she's, like, wow, I can't believe that, this really happens in the justice system, that they got people, you're in jail for 6 months and then turns out you end up being innocent, but they just drug it out. It's all just a money game is what it is. Yeah.
Nikki said that we're supposed to all go watch this playlist that Clap STD that STD put together. I'm wondering what that's about. What's the playlist about? Somebody give me a brief description. So this judge, what's her name?
Last name's Freeman.
Judge Freeman.
So,
there.
yeah.
And this
So
is
if anybody
is this Sarpy
hasn't
County?
seen it, yeah, Sarpy County. I did a video, like a little quick put together video thing that I put out yesterday. If anybody hasn't seen it on my channel, kind of just a little brief update and some pictures and things like that. And then at the end of the video, it has the judge, it has Brandy, the prosecutor, it has Brandy's boss. His name's Lee. The police chief. It has all the people, the main people involved, and it has phone numbers and emails for some of them. That it's all public information I found posted on there, that if anybody feels like they want to let them know how they feel about this case, really that's what we need, is more public outcry to let them know what they're doing is wrong.
You keep talking. I'm listening. I
Yep.
promise. I'm working on something.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, so it's that's the main thing where I guess me and Sam are needing is you guys to call the judge. The judge's number that I could find online. It's
Well,
all on there.
let's do this differently. Let's not contact the judge. Let's keep the pressure on. And the reason that I say that is protection for you guys. They treat that an awful lot like they would treat jury interference.
Okay. Yeah.
So and that was one of the things, if anybody was paying attention to what happened with Delete Laws, Chili DeCastro, when he was locked up, a lot of people were putting pressure on the judge after the decision was already done, the sentence was already given, and it was getting ready to go to appeal. People were contacting the judge every day, and there was conversation being had about Chili facing further criminal charges um, for the harassment that the judge felt she was receiving, and that I just want to make sure that we are not contributing to anything, and I know that's not your goal, but anything that the judge could possibly use.
Yeah.
Um, and so we can contact the prosecutor, we can contact the PD, we can contact even the sheriff's office. Even though it's a completely different agency, you can contact any politician you want to contact. Um, but just using caution is what I would recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like you said, like when we're asking you guys to contact or anybody to contact, it's peaceful. I mean, nothing disrespectful, or just let them know what your opinions are peacefully. No threats, no violence, nothing like that. I don't want, that's not what we're asking here. So just so
No, and
it's
and
cool.
I just I just want to make sure I
Yeah.
know that's not what you're doing.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
trying to be helpful.
Yep. Nope. I get it. It's,
Um, so what day does that actual trial um, start then? What's the actual day?
uh, November 14th, and it's starts at 9 a.m.
No- And that is at Sarpy County Courthouse.
That is correct.
And would you guys appreciate having anybody who could be there, be part of show up and be part of that?
Yeah. Anybody local or anything like that watching this, if you could show up even just for a little bit, show some support, that'd be great. Uh, and that actually brings up another quick story,
Yeah, go
sideline from
ahead.
all of this too. So one of the, I won't mention names, but one of the local people around here who has been extremely helpful with contacting all these people had contacted before the first trial date because he had planned on showing up and wanted to know what the rules were for people, wanted to come and watch, what they could and couldn't do, bring, record, that kind of thing. And when they had canceled it, it was after he had made a call to ask the court, respectfully. It wasn't me. And he just, talked to the clerk of court, wanted to know what the rules were. And somehow our attorney had heard from speculation that the reason it was getting canceled, the first trial, was because there were security concerns, because people were calling the courthouse and the judge was scared that there was security risks. So it was like quiet for like 2 weeks before we found out what was going on. And that's when I kind of was like, well, I don't know who would have been calling anything that could be security, and kind of digging around, and there was nothing. It was just a peaceful conversation. Wanted to know what you could and couldn't do. And so yeah, I don't understand how somebody wanting to know if they could record, not record, is a
That's that,
security
and
risk.
well, so let's just Bips outed himself in chat, so
I
look,
tried.
I've gotten to know Bip. He could be a little excitable, um, but he's not dangerous.
No,
He's
no, by all means.
not dangerous.
He's dedicated to helping the cause, that's for sure.
So we're gonna. I finally was able to find it. Your little video put together. So you're just gonna go viral now. You're just viral. You're gonna be a virus along with STD. I mean, clap. I mean, that's here we go. Let's see here. No, nobody has to look at our ugly mugs, and trust me, nobody wants to see us. So, where's it at? Okay, that's really weird. Why is it showing? Oh, now I know what it's doing. That's not the one. Goodness gracious. I had it.
It's popped
It's
up like
okay.
the beginning of
Oh,
it,
there it
but
is. There it is. Folks, this is why I had to have show producers. I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to have to hire somebody pretty soon. That lieutenant looks about 12. All righty. That was Nate's little tribute to the cause, and it was very well done. Good job putting that together.
I spent about 2 hours on my phone doing all that. So
Yeah, bro, you might want to start working on the computer if you're going to do
yeah,
that stuff.
I'm not very good at it. I'm trying though.
Oh no, you're doing good. Just so everybody knows, Nate and I have direct orders. Nate has a hard out of 8:45. So Sam had parent teacher conferences all day today, and she's going out to let her hair down, so to speak. And Nate has a newlywed husband's duty of retrieving her before things go sideways. And if you don't know anything about Bellevue and Omaha, that whole area, things go sideways in the bar real fast. So
You know,
it's just a given. Oh, um, so give us the day and date one more time.
all right. So the jury trial, November 14th, I believe is Thursday, 9 a.m. is as long as they don't cancel it again the day before. But they said if they do, then they're kind of giving up on their speedy trial purposes. So I'm assuming this
Yeah,
will be the real one.
they can't cancel. They cannot cancel again. If they
Yeah,
cancel again, it's done.
yeah.
They
So
could
hopefully,
they could change it to an earlier date,
yeah,
but they cannot cancel again. They're just out of time. They cannot push it off again.
yep.
The judge will have no
And
choice but to dismiss the charges.
and so just like something I was kind of talking with Sam about, trying to figure, just since this school year has started, with any time she's had to leave work early or have the day off, and if you include the 2 days next month of lost wages and pay and time she could have been helping her special needs children with tutoring after school, um she's at almost $3,000 of lost wages.
Out of that she's lost.
Yeah, just because she has to go to court over this. Then you're looking at, the bond, what we paid for the lawyer. I mean, I know people have paid a lot more, I'm sure, but we're almost $5,000 out of pocket on this over a
With
game
lost
that these
wages
guys are
and
playing.
everything else.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like there's no reason for it. There really isn't.
Yeah, it's it's sad that it's come to this. So, did she go to meet up with the gals?
Yep, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's she doing? Is she holding together okay?
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's definitely nerve wracking for her that all this like build up to, oh, the case is going to be tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, nope, it's not. Surprise. It's next month again. And definitely a little hard and nerve wracking on us all, but we're getting
How are
through
the
it.
kids doing?
They're, I don't think that they all really realize like the potential of what could actually happen with this. Um, I don't even know that Sam realized it from the beginning, but what I'm trying to explain, like with the whole delete laws case in Chile, he was recording, said things to a cop. He was out in a public place doing it, got arrested. I mean, honestly, this isn't much different from what happened to him, except we were on our private property. So, and he,
So
spent 4.5
you're
months in
right, and
jail.
to some degree, this isn't much different, but it's also
It's a,
even vastly different because you have even more protections.
yes, yes. And that's what I try to explain to people. Like, it's not, look what he was doing and all the support he has, and he went to jail. Now, this is how very real it is for Samantha, because we don't have that kind of support that on the platform he has, and she could potentially be thrown in jail for this. Like, it's just it's a 1 year max, but any time in jail, that's it's going to ruin both families. It's going to, the kids are going to be devastated, and it's hard on all of us. So we're
Um,
hopefully that the jury, they're going to vote the right way, but it's definitely going to be not easy if trying to
I
explain to the kids that mom's going to jail.
I know, and I since this is just us and the tens and tens of viewers, um, I know that you were struggling a little bit with the attorney. That you felt like the attorney didn't seem like they
Yeah,
were
I don't
fully
that
on your side. Like they kind of felt like you kind of brought this on yourselves.
yeah it
Has that
yeah
changed? Has the attorney kind of changed tune?
he hasn't. We kind of, me and him, gotten a little back and forth scuffle over the last time, because he kind of tried to act like he thought that we did something wrong, but he I mean, he definitely wants this to be over with. Um, and I guess the bad part about it is I didn't even really think of this, but we paid a one-time fee to him. So no matter how many days he has to go to court, he doesn't get more money for it. So if it's
Well, wait a
settled
minute. Wait a
over with
minute.
quick.
There's no reason for you guys to feel bad about that.
No, and I know,
He gave you
but
that. He told you what the
yeah,
cost was going to be.
yep. And
So
yeah,
that's
so I
on
think
him.
he
That's
he
that.
kind
No,
of
no, no,
expected
no.
us to fold, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's on him. No, don't. No, he gets no passes.
yeah. So yeah, so that was definitely a big hit to us all when we kind of talked to him about that, and because he wanted us to take a deal, the last deal with taking the online class, and we had actually called around to try to talk to some other lawyers after that, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, you better just take the deal, and it's just like depleting that you can't find nobody
You,
who's willing to
what
stand up for their
everybody,
rights.
what everybody needs to understand, and we have Chad Catter in the chat, and Chad will back me up on this 100%. The duty of attorneys, especially in the criminal setting, they are officers of the court. Their duty is to abide by the standards of the court and abide by the court protocols and whatnot. And so his job, even though Sam has a right to a trial of her peers, and she has a right to her defense, and she has a right to be innocent until proven guilty. The attorney's job is to not waste the court's time. That's why
Yep,
he wants you to take a deal.
yep,
If you take a deal right out of the gate, then he makes all this money without having to do any work. Now he's having to freaking work. That's what's bothering him.
yep,
The judge is going to make him work, and he knows that. And that's the problem with, and there are so few attorneys out there. I know there are people that struggle a little bit with John from the Civil Rights Attorney channel, but he's one of those where you look at him, you go, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he would actually do the work. And we've seen that he does the work. And I know that the Attorney Shield that got put together by Long Island Audits and Lackluster, it seems like they've gone above and beyond to find attorneys for Attorney Shield. And once again, folks, I don't have any sponsorships. So if you know somebody who would like to sponsor the channel, tell them to check me out. I'm a good investment. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, with that Attorney Shield, we actually all have that. I purchased a 6-month membership for the whole family because they said, you never know what's going to happen, and I can't be there for everyone to let them know, what their rights are. So, that's definitely a good investment if anybody else out there is thinking about it.
That is an unpaid endorsement, folks. We are.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Right. This is what I was saying: is attorney has duties to the court, the state, and the bar before the client. Absolutely. So once again, November 14th at 9 a.m., Sarpy County Courthouse. If you are anywhere within a decent driving distance, please, for the love of God, people, tell your friends and other people who are like-minded to show up and back up Sam, and back up Nate, because Nate. I give Nate a lot of crap, but I know that Nate's been a rock for Sam and through all of this, and that's why we're gonna kick him out of here so he can go and be her rock, so she doesn't have to worry, doesn't get in any more trouble, and he doesn't get in any more trouble. So, you guys know that I'm here. You guys know that I'm always, I talk about you guys a lot anyway. Bip. I'll be there. Look for the guy who isn't wearing pants. I don't think we're going to have to look too hard, Bip. I'm going to say this, and I want you to take this for what it's worth. I'm not dogging anybody who's been supportive. I said this to somebody else. The thing that has frustrated me the most about your guys' case is all the attention that you were getting from the entire accountability activism community on the front end of this. And now no one's.
Yeah, that's from
and
the start.
No one's talking about it now. They've all moved on.
It's all just, and I know there's more stuff has happened and people have had worse cases, but the support of all of you guys is what keeps us going, and it's definitely been hard now after the initial boost of everybody. Like I
wish that. And this is what I was saying in my stream earlier today. And I'm going to be in trouble with Sam too, so I'm going to just keep you a couple more minutes. My biggest issue is that everybody's attention span is so damn short, and we move on from one topic to the next topic, and don't ever sell short how serious this is, because this is the most serious thing for you guys right now. I have some therapist friends, literally therapist friends, and we talked a lot, and we talk about people's reaction to their own traumatic incidents. And the first thing that they do is they compare their traumatic incident to somebody who has what they believe to be a more traumatic experience. And they say, well, compared to what this person went through, what I'm going through is nothing compared to what they went through. And so what you just said is exactly the same thing. Yeah, there are more serious. No, Nate, there's nothing more serious for you and Sam right now than what you're going through. And don't sell it short. Don't play it off like, well, there's more important things. I understand why people. No, God damn it. every single Sonia Massey case is important. Every single Philando Castile case is important. Every single Flex Your Freedom's arrest is important, but they're not more important than what's happened to you, and in particular, what's happened to Sam.
Yep.
And that's why I have a massive amount of respect and love and compassion for you guys. 2, I stayed in touch with you guys for the same reason I stay in touch with so many of the other people that I talk to. Because you're human beings, and God damn it, you have a reasonable expectation that people that have shown interest stay in touch with you just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that every channel needs to be making a video about you guys every day or every week or even, every couple of weeks. What I'm saying is that everybody just moves on, and they just forget. And that's what's defeating the accountability activism community right now. Is we want the next thing. I say this all the time. I know my content's not sexy. My content's not sexy. I'm not Sean from Long Island Audits. I'm not Flex. I'm not out there in the face of every single law enforcement. And I'm not saying that in a negative way at all. I love what Sean and what Flex do. I have a massive amount of respect for what Chili does. Even if he gets on my nerves from time to time. But compared to people like that, my stuff's not sexy. I'm not I get that. But things would start to change if people stayed in touch. But we move on to the next exciting thing because we have to have that adrenaline dump. We have to have we have to have that surge of excitement, especially if it's happening to someone and it makes us go, that's wrong. And then we can go and look for the next that's wrong video to watch. And that's why I wanted, to have you guys on tonight, or have you on tonight, and to keep this in people's mind. Folks, if you haven't followed Nate at A Ultimate Slacker, and I'm pretty sure we'll get it in the description somehow. I thought I had it in there, but we're with you, and I wanted to be there for the wedding last week, and I'm going to do everything I can to try and be there for day 1 of the trial. You're still 5.5 hours away from me, so
Yeah, it's a little
I poor folk. I can't afford to spend the night anywhere, and I'm not curling up on the bed with you. I like.
It's always the dogs.
So, you go and retrieve your beautiful bride and give her a big old hug for me, and you get out of here, and I'll close up.
All right, thank you.
No, Bip, I am not cuddling with. No, Bip, no. I might cuddle with Tav if he showed up, but that's just because he's a big hairy polar bear. So, Nate, you get out of here. Give Sam a big old hug for me. Tell the kids thank you so much for popping in on the wedding stream last week. That was probably one of the best moments of my channel ever. And your little Trump impersonator was amazing. So,
Yep. Yeah.
I hope we can bring Tav, but I'm very, very concerned that Tav will not have his freedom at trial date. So, you go, get out of here, bro. Have a good night. I'll close
Thanks,
up,
everyone.
And I'll talk really bad smack about you once you get off the air.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Somebody go and get Nate's link and share it in the chat if you would. One of the mods. I'm trying to find STD's link because I want to kill a few minutes here before. And since you guys are still here and watching, I wanted to tell you guys how much you all mean to me. Um, I was a little emotional last night on the panel with Cliff and Nikki. And I want to apologize for letting my emotions get the better of me last night. I do fight a lot. I'm going to get emotional again. God damn. Um, I'm over. Hey, targeted Patton. I'm over the anger at what happened to me. For the most part. Um, but I'm also in that phase of wrestling with the guilt and even recognizing in myself the moments where uh, contempt of cop, for lack of better terminology, um, set into my life. And I decided today on the stream on my Drive Time Dialectic today that I'm going to do a stream, maybe a Drive Time Dialectic or um, just something from here in studio, uh, talking about contempt of cop and where it comes from and in its roots, because it is an incredibly important topic for people to understand. I am trying to get his link, STD584. I'm trying to get Clap's link to come up, and for the love of Pete, I cannot open it from the chat in here. Hold on. I think the conversation about where contempt of cop comes from and its roots is incredibly important, and I want to give you guys kind of an insider's, not a justification. Please understand that it's not a justification. I want to give you an insider's perspective on what I know to be the three different roots of contempt of cop. And the reason I say three is there are definitely more, or not more. It's definitely a varied perspective. However, the roots come from three very particular problems that have arisen in the world of law enforcement and the criminal justice system. And that's what I'm wrestling with. It absolutely, I wrestle with it every day. The shame of knowing what I took part in. And when I did the video in response to Brian from Here's the Deal, when I did that Drive Time Dialectic a couple weeks ago, somebody commented on a playback and said, well, just go and apologize to everybody you wronged. I don't think you can't. I can't apologize to everybody that I wronged. It's impossible. Hey, Clap, which one of these videos should I play from your playlist? Which one can I play without getting a strike? Are I'm imagining they're all copyright. I don't want to get a copyright strike on the video. Um, so I'll do this though. Everybody has seen it in the chat. So if you haven't yet, oh, they would all get me a strike. So yeah, I probably shouldn't play them then. But head over here. Like he's helped write some pretty big songs. Some pretty famous musicians in here. But yeah, head over to STD 58 and check out his playlist. He is a musician. You know what I need, STD? I need you to you should write me an intro and I will promote you that way. You didn't write Barracuda, so that's still a good song though, even if you're not a Heart fan. But so I just wanted you guys to understand where I was coming from a little bit with the stream last night. The panel with the Vigilance Committee and Nikki, thank you so much for telling me there was no need to apologize. There is not a single law enforcement officer, and I say this without any fear of being corrected. And you guys know it's like tomorrow night will be another TC and Joe Lanew's Night Crew Pew Pew review. And I'm wondering if I keep going to those. I'm wondering if I should just keep doing them because it's getting really hard. But I need you guys to show up for those. But I have no fear of being proven wrong on this. There is not a single law enforcement officer, there's not a single cop, there's not a single road pirate, there's not a single trooper, there's not a single FBI agent, there's not a single DEA agent, there is not a single federal marshal. You name any level of the law enforcement world out there, there is not a single one that has not, in some way, shape, or form, violated someone's natural rights. As much respect as I have for Detective Matt Thornton, when I had him on the show, he said, I've never violated anybody's rights. It's not true. That's an impossible statement. And when I tell you that I have nightmares about some of the things that I saw and took part in, it is not an exaggeration. But that's why I do what I do. I'm never going to be able to make up for nearly 13 years. Jugs, I'm sorry to hear that you won't come. To be honest with you, sometimes just having you guys in the chat keeps me focused. Honestly, what I wish could happen, I wish that when I stream it to my channel, all of you guys would just go out and just start peppering all of the accountability activist community channels with that. I would love nothing more than to get Tav and all of you, literally all of you. I would love nothing more than to get all of you there commenting. Just overwhelm them. You know, I said in the panel last night that you can't get me in trouble, Nikki. You should hear some of the shit I say to them. I said in the panel last night that there's a high amount of former law enforcement officers that when they leave the career field, when they retire, they eat the iron. And a lot of people have asserted that the reason that is it's the years and years and years and years of PTSD building up. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Mr. Nikki. The reason there's a rash of former cops unaliving themselves when they leave their careers has got nothing to do with the PTSD. It has everything to do with the silence that surrounds them when they leave the career field and they're left to think about what they have been doing for the last 20 plus years. I do believe at the heart there is a percentage of these people who leave, and while they have taken part in the corruption, and somewhere inside their humanity, their empathy, their decency comes alive, and they accuse themselves. And there's no one there to hear them but themselves. And so they eat the iron. They ride the bullet. And I am terrified of that for many of the people that I care about. scares me for my brother. You guys mean the world to me. And in all the moments where I'm just done, I'm done. I've given up so goddamn much for this. I just don't want to be guilty of the sunk cost fallacy. Where you just keep pouring yourself into something, even though you know it's not working, just because you've invested so much. I don't want to be guilty of that. And there are times where I feel like I am pouring myself into something that's not working, and I don't want to be guilty. But then so many of you come along and have come into my life. And I know most of you just come for the chicken streams on the weekends. uh, if you watch my or listen to the conversation I had with Chase from Sunday, I put it up on Tuesday. I told him that my chicken streams on the weekends get more views than almost anything else. He thought that was great. I have thought about leaving. I've thought about quitting. But I can't. And I want you guys to know that you've helped me stay around. So be looking for the stream tomorrow night. And then show up for Hildegard and the girls. We're going to have probably a shorter stream on Saturday, but we're going to have a celebration of life because one of the Hildies left us on Tuesday. Or left us the other day, so don't know what happened to her. Couldn't figure it out, but she's gone. And that happens with chickens, so. Okay, Bip. Your penalty for that is a super chat. That cannot go unpunished. So, and by the way, folks, that's one of my standing rules. Bad dad jokes and puns are automatic super chat penalties. So, yeah, that's a super chat penalty. Bip, get on it. There you go. You know it's increasing every single time, like in a stream. Like you got to save them if you're gonna do one. If you're gonna do it, you got to do one, and you got to do it towards the end of the show. Otherwise, they increase. Dad jokes and puns are not allowed on this channel unless they're coming from me. You did what? Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. And make sure you're subbing to Nate's channel. And if you haven't, thought about it yet, I know a lot of you have guest memberships. I would really, if you have it, I know how tight things are right now. Trust me, I know. I I bought the last of groceries for myself for my household today, and I don't get paid again until next Friday. So we's living on the bare bones. But if you have it in your budget and you need another channel to support by way of membership, anything you do is help. You to help would be great. I really appreciate it. It does help me keep things going. And if I can, I will be down in Bellevue for the trial. I really, 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 really want to be down there for the trial and to support Sam, to support Nate, support their family. And if you're anywhere near being able to make it in a few hours for that, I would love to see you all. Anybody that can. Nikki, thank you. So let's see who's getting those memberships. Just when I thought I was over, they sucked me back in. Let's see who got them. Targeted Patton got a gift membership. Joko, thank you, Joko. Or thank you, Nikki. Joko, congratulations. Targeted, thank you. Victoria Hawk, congratulations. Rollis. And let's see. So is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. One hasn't popped up yet. So I know what I'm going to do. I want to introduce you guys to Theory. He's a Marine Corps veteran and he's a rapper. And he and I have become friends. And he does phenomenal work. And here we go. I know that rap is not everybody's thing, but if you could subscribe to his channel and then comment on his videos and tell him that TC from Veteran Nation and Minnesota Black Robe Regiment sent you. And we are going to listen to his rhymes here. He is a phenomenal individual. And I'm going to be bringing him on the show for a Monday Night Musings. He is not political. He doesn't do politics. And when he came on Veteran Nation last week, I told him it doesn't matter if you like politics or not. What matters is whether or not politics cares about you. And he took that pretty well. And we're talking about doing a collab of some sort. And we are going to bring him on. So here we go. Race.
But I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. Yeah. Can't seem to escape this fate. Try pleasing the masses just to be told that my music ain't even great. It's way below average, people so cold, and how many followers you get defining success. It's crazy to think how I do what I love for a living, but somehow I still don't feel blessed. Ain't get enough views on that clip that I posted a week ago. God damn, must mean that I suck. Meanwhile, the video trending right now is a girl on the gram saying she down to get fucked. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm posting my content, crossing my fingers for luck, and hoping they playing my songs. But hundreds of streams will still only get you $1. So how in the hell do I win? Do I change who I am? Do I put out an album by selling drugs, fucking bitches, foreign cars, all the riches, gang, Glocks or switches? Maybe they'll love it and I can go viral, but is the fame worth it if I'm losing myself in the process, forcing my heart and my head in a downward spiral? I feel like I've been losing myself for far too long. Far too long. Far too long. I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change. But I gotta adapt, the old way don't work no more, so I gotta change up the grind before I get left behind. I'm already midway to 40 and worried I'll never be hitting my prime. You tell me to always stay true to myself, but then when I do it, I'm wasting my time. Just give me a sign. I don't wanna change, don't wanna conform, but I know I gotta do something and soon, cause then if I don't, I'm breaking the norm. And fuck social media, all of that hatred been bringing me down. I go to perform and post up a reel to show how I did, then get all these messages about how I'm corny. Nobody does that, you should just stop. Put out the song, I bet you it flops. Hang up the mic, your flow is too basic, no wonder your Spotify listeners dropped. This is the shit that I get for pursuing my passion, thinking one day I'ma pop, and maybe I might, but all that I know is I'm gonna continue to rise to the top. I ain't losing myself. I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change. I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change.
My friend Theory, ladies and gentlemen, and I love that song, because even though he's talking about his rap career, he is talking to, I know, so many of us who wake up every day and say, why am I even bothering? I thank you guys so much for everything that you do for me. I wish I could do more for you. Go check out Theory. Find that song "Falling from Grace." Comment on it and tell him that I sent you. I had mad amount of respect and love for every single one of you, and go check out Vigilance Committee. They are amazing, and all of you are amazing. So until next time, fight for your liberty. It is yours. Fight for your freedom. And I know you guys are saying it with me. Fight for your freedom. It belongs to you. And Sic Semper. Tyrant.
We are go. for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at